Hello, and welcome to Songwriters Spotlight, the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative Series. I'm Dr. Dan, your host of the show, where we feature Western Mass songwriters who perform their original songs and talk about the art of songwriting. Stay tuned to explore more about music and the tunesmithing that creates it. Our songwriter on this episode is Abaigeal Russell, an 18-year-old singer-songwriter from Springfield, Massachusetts. A member of the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative since 2018, Abaigeal has been writing songs for as long as she can remember. Her songs explore everything from the complexities of growing up to having fun with friends and everything in between. She plans to continue pursuing music while attaining her college degree with hopes of a career as a songwriter.
Hello everyone, my name is Abaigeal Russell and I'm an 18-year-old singer-songwriter from Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm so excited to be here performing on Songwriter Spotlight for you all today. This has been in the works for months, but obviously COVID kind of got in the way of things. So when Dan reached out to me and asked me to do this in a virtual format, I was so excited to do so. So I'm so excited to be with you all here today, even though it's virtually. I feel like music really can bring us all together no matter how far apart we are. So without further ado, I'm going to play some original songs for you, and I'm going to start off with one of the first songs I ever wrote, which is called Golden Nights. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Sound of this same be a light to guide the broken over hills and mountains. Watch the eagle soar as he spreads his wings and flies away some more. Flashlight burning out, us in the dark calling for help. Not sure where I should go and see a faint light down each road. And I find myself feeling lost alive. Same old traffic in a different spot. Then I remember that song I sang when I was just a little girl, and it went something like this, though sometimes I forget the words. May your days be great and nights be golden. Let the sound of this same be a light to guide the broken over hills and mountains. Watch the eagle soar as he spreads his wings and flies away some more. Sometimes I get lost, I admit I get scared. I'm too big for my britches, but I just don't care. I'm still looking for myself, putting these pieces back together. May your days be great and nights be golden. Let the sound of this saying be a light to guide the broken over hills and mountains. Watch the eagle soar as he spreads his wings and flies away some more.
Alright, so like I said, that was my original song, Golden Nights. I wrote that when I was about 12 years old, and it was one of the first songs full songs I ever wrote, and also one of the first songs that I felt proud of that I wrote. So this next song I'm going to be playing for you is called Catching Feelings. I wrote it last summer, and I wrote it pretty much all in one take. Probably 15-20 minutes. I wrote the whole thing and haven't really changed it or added much to it since, and it's one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well.
I think I'm falling for you, but I don't think my heart can go through this for the millionth time. Watching you fall for everybody when all that I'm catching feelings again. I don't wanna let them in. All they do is play tricks on my mind. They think it's a game, but I'm just trying to work up the courage to say to myself, I'm catching feelings for you, feelings for you, feelings for you. I'm catching feelings for you, feelings for you, feelings for you. I don't know how to act, always working myself up behind your back, trying to find the courage to say something to your face. Please don't hurt me, my heart's still learning how to handle it all, handle it all. Can't take another hit, might not get back up again. Still dusting myself from the last fall. I know I'm catching feelings again. I don't wanna let them in. All they do is play tricks on my mind. They think it's a game, but I'm just trying to work up the courage to say to myself, I'm catching feelings for you, feelings for you, feelings for you. I'm catching feelings for you, feelings for you, feelings for you. Oh no, I'm catching feelings again. I don't wanna let them in. All they do is play tricks on my mind. They think it's a game, but I'm just trying to work up the courage to say to myself, I'm catching feelings for you, feelings for you, feelings for you. I'm catching feelings for you, feelings for you, feelings for you.
Alright, so like I said, that was my original song, Catching Feelings, and I'm going to switch gears a little bit because unlike Catching Feelings, this next song took me a while to write. So Catching Feelings took me about 15-20 minutes, like I said, and this song took me about 6 months, so there's a big gap there. When I write songs, it can really take, again, 5, 10, 15 minutes, or a couple months. It really just depends, and this song was really special to me, and I wanted to find the right words, and I wanted it to resonate with other people because it is all about my hometown, Springfield, Massachusetts, which is where I was born and raised and which is where I still live today. And I wanted this song to resonate not just with people who live in Springfield or Western Mass or even Massachusetts. I wanted it to be relatable to people all around the world thinking about their hometowns as well. So I really wanted to be careful with the words I chose, and that's why this song is very important to me. So without further ado, here is 413.
East Coast, small city, all the lights look so pretty. Big houses in small towns, not too far around and not too far away. There's a place that I go that my daddy calls home, and my heart holds close. And not too far away, there's a place that I love where my mama grew up, and I know far too much of. These are the streets that raised me, paved me, made me who I am, and I would never expect anybody else to understand the story behind the cracks in the sidewalks and the scars on my knees. You can take me out of the 413, but you can't take the 413 out of me.
was my original song, 413. Like I said, all about growing up here in Western Mass, and I hope that, again, no matter where you are in the world, that you can relate to that song in some way as well. So this next song I'm going to play is actually on my first and currently only EP available right now. It's called People Problems. It's on all streaming platforms, so if you'd like to check that out, go ahead. This song is personal to me in a different way. I wrote it 2 years ago, so I think it has a little bit of a different meaning to me now than it did then. But I still really enjoy performing this song and singing it, and I had such a fun time writing it. So here we go. This is If Only.
Song once upon a time, 3 days ago. You didn't know how to let things go. Now somehow everybody knows. Sometimes I wish you knew how to keep your mouth, 'cause I know I don't. Yes, I do. Can't make up my mind on you. Wish I could, but now I can't. Wish I gave myself the chance to live. No, I don't want it haunts me to this day. Thinking I'm the one that you'd say broke your heart in two was the best thing I'd ever lose. But I think I made up my mind on you. Now I'm thinking, did I try to lead him on? 'Cause if I did, that'd be so wrong. And I wish I knew how to apologize if something holds me back every time. 'Cause he tried so hard, it was kind of weird. Maybe he thought I'd find it endearing, but in the end I let my heart decide. For the first time in a while, I'm still like, no, I don't. Yes, I do. Can't make up my mind on you. Wish I could, but now I can't. Wish I gave myself the chance. And you have no idea how much it haunts me to this day. Thinking I'm the one that you'd say broke your heart in two was the best thing I'd ever lose. But I think I made up my mind on you. Is it too much to ask and take my feelings back? 'Cause I'm up and down all the time, and it's not fair to you, and it's half past 12, and I'm like, no, I don't. Yes, I do. Can't make up my mind on you. Wish I could, but now I can't. Wish I gave myself the chance. You have no idea how much it haunts me to this day. Thinking I'm the one that you'd say broke your heart in two was the best thing I'd ever lose. But I think I made up my mind on you. If only you knew. If only you knew.
Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that song. Again, it's available on my EP, People Problems, which is currently my only EP out there right now, but I'm planning on releasing some new music soon, possibly some of the songs that you're hearing today, so I'm super excited about that. But up next is a song I wrote kind of recently, probably the most recently of all the songs I've played today, And this song actually started out as a song that was in the point of view of one of my favorite characters from a movie. And I kind of reworked it a little bit and kind of made it more relatable to the world we live in. And this is kind of what came of it. So this is Lies, and I hope you all enjoy it.
Like we're just going in circles and I don't wanna stop. You're always saying that you love me, but all the petals you pick are all love me nots. You're always in the mood and you don't want to say it's not me and that it's you. You're just trying to manipulate. I've already made that mistake. You say that you're sick, but I'm sick of your lies. 'Cause every time you lie, I die a little inside. You say that you're sorry, but I'm sorry for you. 'Cause now I'm gonna come back to haunt you. 'Cause every time you lie, I die a little inside. Like we're just making up excuses and I can't help but fall. 'Cause every time you look at me I get this feeling and I can't stop. You're always in the mood and you don't want to say it's not me and that it's you. But you're just trying to manipulate. I've already made that mistake. You say that you're sick, but I'm sick of your lies. 'Cause every time you lie, I die a little inside. You say that you're sorry, but I'm sorry for you. 'Cause now it's gonna come back to haunt you. And I don't wanna let you go, but I know that I have to. And I don't wanna take things slow, but you're moving. We're moving, I'm moving on. You say that you're sick, but I'm sick of your lies. 'Cause every time you lie, I die a little inside. You say that you're sorry, but I'm sorry for you. 'Cause now it's gonna come back to haunt you. 'Cause every time you lie, I die a little inside. Yeah,
Alright, so like I said, that was my original song, Lies, and it was based off of a character from a movie, which is something I like to do when I'm having writer's block. I kind of write in the perspective of a character or write a song that I think another artist would sing, and that's kind of really helped me get through my writer's block. So I'm going to end off on a song that also helped me through writer's block one time, but in a different way. This is a song that I wrote about a little over a year ago, and I was having trouble coming up with a song. I just couldn't write, but I really wanted to write a song. I was in the mood to write a song, and I was sitting there thinking, and I was like, why don't I write a song about not being able to write a song? And so from that feeling and from that frustration came this song, which has become one of my absolute favorite songs to perform, and it's just such a fun song for me to sing and perform, and I had such a fun time writing it. So this is going to be my last song of the day or night whenever you're watching this, and this is one of those days.
just never knows when to stop spinning. Well, now I'm still in my bedroom writing a song that no one's ever gonna sing along to. I'm just writing some silly words that everybody's already heard, but I can't help it. It's just one of those days, not too good, not too bad, like a million I've already had. And my mom keeps asking me why I'm sad. It's one of those days when I'm so tired I can barely sleep, but honestly I've done nothing. Just one of those days. Just one of those days. Surprise, surprise, guess who didn't understand the math lesson today? It's me. I try so hard at everything, but it feels like nothing's working. Well, now I'm chilling in my bedroom writing a song that no one's ever gonna sing along to. I'm just writing some silly words that everybody's already heard, but I can't help it. Just one of those days, not too good, not too bad, like a million I've already had. And my mom keeps asking me why I'm sad. Just one of those days, I'm so tired I can barely think, but honestly I've done nothing. It's just one of those days. It's just one of those days. Just one of those days. Just one of those days. Well, now I'm chilling in my bedroom writing a song that no one's ever gonna sing along to. I'm just writing some silly words that everybody's already heard, but I can't help it. Just one of those days, not too good, not too bad, like a million I've already had. And my mom keeps asking me why I'm sad. Just one of those days where I'm so tired I can barely think, but honestly I've done nothing. Just one of those days. Just one of those days. Yeah.
Alright everyone, so that was my last song of the night, One of Those Days. It has been absolutely amazing spending time with you all, even though we couldn't be together physically. Again, I think music can bring people together no matter how far apart we are. And I've had such an amazing time playing some music for you all today. It's been a while since I've gotten the opportunity to perform, and I'm so honored to be here on Songwriters Spotlight. So again, my name is Abaigeal Russell. I'm an 18-year-old singer-songwriter from Springfield, Massachusetts, and it has been an absolute honor to spend the day with you guys. I hope you're all staying safe, staying healthy, social distancing, wearing your mask, all that good stuff, and hopefully we can be together in person again sometime soon. But until then, I will see you all later. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Well, I'm speaking now to Abaigeal Russell, and she just graced us with some wonderful songs and excellent conversation about her songwriting, and I enjoyed it tremendously. I want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, it was very, very nice. Yeah, I really like the sort of the passion and the sincerity that went into all the writing and the performance. It was very, very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, and it's great to meet someone as young as you are who is really committed about songwriting and is just taking it very seriously. It's a real treat. So, so speaking of which, when did you start songwriting?
I started songwriting, I feel like as long as I could speak. I've been, making up my own songs, whether it be just, I started out making my own songs. I would write lyrics to melodies I already knew. And then as I kind of got older and I learned to play guitar, that's when I started being able to write my own songs and my own melodies with that.
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, one of the songs you did for us, you were quite young when you wrote that. So,
yes, probably Golden Nights. I was 12 when I wrote that.
I know. I was so struck by that. You were 12 years old, and you were
yes.
writing a song that it sounded like Dolly Parton's "I Will Always Love You." That kind of strong feeling and well wishing. A lot of warmth and love.
Thank
And
you.
oh yeah, I mean I'm listening to that and I'm saying like, okay, same vibe that Dolly Parton had, about just feeling good about people and wanting them to do well and be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a very nice song. So for a 12-year-old, for anyone, but for a 12-year-old especially, it's a terrific song.
Thank you.
Yes. Um, and then, so when you were 6 years old, you were picking up on Disney songs, music from Disney?
Yeah, yeah. So
Cool.
I grew up watching like the Disney Channel, which was
Hmm.
a really big part, watching all of those girls and that went on to have really big careers. So that was a big part of influencing me as well. So that was a
Hmm.
huge influence in my life. And then also Taylor Swift, I've been listening to since I was 4, probably. So yeah, so she was a huge, I mean, I know it's not very original, like a young songwriter who plays guitar looking up to Taylor Swift, but it's true. And yeah, so those are really big influences in my life as I grew up and still today.
Well, she's definitely a musical force. I understand why that would be inspirational to you. So Taylor Swift, anyone else come to mind that inspires you?
Um, I'm really into like 80s music, surprisingly. So, I mean, I love Whitney Houston,
Mm.
Michael Jackson. I love, 90s music as well. I mean, I really listen to everything. It's not
Uh-huh.
necessarily one artist, just everything, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, well, the more I delve into the art of songwriting, the clearer it becomes that having a broad palette, a lot of different sources, it is a huge payoff for songwriters, and
Absolutely.
and for you. That's great. That's great. Um, so the kinds of things that you write about, how would you describe them?
I would describe what I write about as just relatable, I guess. I feel like I write a lot about everyday things, and I think sometimes, um, you know, some artists get lost in like the glitz and glamour of fame or being famous. Obviously, I'm not famous, but I think my songs are relatable. Hopefully, I hope so.
Hmm.
And I think that's why people have responded well to them in my experience. But that's how I view them. But everyone, that's the great thing about songwriting is that everyone can view it differently.
Yeah, yeah. So you say people respond to your songs. So what would be an example of that?
I mean, I have a lot of like support from my friends and family, which I'm so
Hmm.
grateful and lucky for. And I'll post music here and there on social media, and I've gotten a pretty good response so far. So, I mean, hopefully that keeps up. But I mean, you can't please everyone. So I know that it's good. There's going to come a day where somebody is probably doesn't like it, and that's okay. I mean, that's another great thing about songwriting is that there's all sorts of songwriters and musicians out there, and
Hmm.
you know I know my songs aren't for everyone. I mean, I write them for everyone to enjoy, but some people won't, and that's okay. So, but so far so good.
Yeah, I know you did a trio presentation with Sparky Allison and Cheryl Stanton, and
Yes, yes.
yeah, it looked like it was a lot of fun. I could tell, and they were very complimentary toward you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they were super supportive, which was really nice to have people who are so much more experienced than I am, give me advice and respond well. So that
Mm-hmm.
was really awesome.
Neat. Part of the developing process, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Good choice of compadres. So let's see. So when you sit down to write a song, what kinds of things happen? What kind of a process do you go through?
Usually I have my guitar with me. That's usually something I always have when I'm writing a song. I mean, there's definitely certain circumstances where I don't, but if I can, I try to have my guitar with me and I kind of just strum and see what feels right. And so usually the music part comes first for me at
Hmm.
least, but again, every song is different. But I usually just sit down with my guitar and, it really depends what happened that day. I find that if I go to try and write a song, like I'm going to write a song, sometimes that doesn't work out. So I kind of just try to let it flow naturally. So, if I feel like I think I have an idea here, I'll sit down with my guitar, play around, see if something comes out of it. And if not, that's okay. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I just try to let that process go naturally, because I feel like forcing a song doesn't really work, in my experience, for me at least.
Yeah, well, you mentioned one of your songs, Catching Feelings. You just wrote it, but don't right now. That was interesting. But on the other hand, the 413, you said that took you a good 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, again, certain songs will take 15 minutes, like Catching Feelings. I'll just sit down, and I mean, I think since the day I wrote it, I haven't changed anything about it.
Hmm.
Whereas, 413, I mean, I had kind of like the chorus, the hook of it, and it took me forever to try to figure out what I wanted to put in the verses.
Mm.
And so, yeah, it really just depends on the song. I think sometimes the more personal a song is, it's harder because you want to get the
Ah,
words just right. But again, every song is different, and I think that's what I like about songwriting is it's different every time. I like new experiences, I like going on adventures, and I think songwriting is an adventure in itself.
ah. So in 413, did you like write some stuff and throw it out and throw stuff in, or was it just getting the uh, first draft down? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, that song I think went through a lot of different changes
Mm.
over, a few months. I mean, again, I didn't try to force it out. So there were times where I would write something down and I could just tell it didn't work and I just
Mm.
got rid of it. So, I think it went through a lot of different changes and I really like where it ended up, but I still feel like I could add more changes to it as time goes on. If, it's just one of those songs that I feel like has definitely taught me a lot because I was so used to getting a song out,
Ah,
and this song, definitely challenged me, but in a good way.
yeah, that's nice. So let's see. So talk to people who are songwriters or aspiring songwriters. What kinds of things would you suggest that they do?
I mean, a lot of people ask me, like, how do I write a song or what do I do? And
Yeah.
I always say my number one rule for songwriting is that there are no rules in my mind. I'm not very like technically trained in terms of songwriting. I mean, I've never taken a class on it. I've never really done any of that. And I think that with songwriting, it just has to come like from your heart. It just has to come from you, and I think your audience will know if it's not coming from you.
Mm.
And that's really, really important. And I try to emphasize that to everyone who asks me, I mean, I don't think I'm the best person to be giving songwriting advice, but I definitely think that, you know, don't put pressure on yourself, just let it flow naturally. And also be inspired by everything around you, not just your own life. Look at what's going on in the news, what's going on in your friend groups, what's going on in your family, what's going on in stories and movies and TV shows you like. I mean, just really take all of that and, you can make something out of anything, I think.
Sure. So I'm thinking about your songs. Catching Feelings. That's a lot of feelings in that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was an instance where you picked up your guitar and the feelings just turned
Yeah.
into words, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Wow.
mean, it wasn't necessarily inspired by a particular event or
Hmm.
anything really particular. It just kind of came out, and I was like, I think this works. And I just went along with it and kept writing, and I was really happy with the end result. And that can happen too. Sometimes it's not inspired by a particular thing, you're just feeling inspired that day, and something comes out of it.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, you definitely got the feelings into it. Um,
Thank you.
have you have not collaborated with other songwriters? Is that correct?
I did collaborate with Sparky, Allison, and
Oh.
Cheryl Stanton. We wrote a song together, and that was my first time writing a song with other people, which
Ah.
was really, I mean, obviously they're so talented and experienced, way more than
Hmm.
I've not had that much experience. And also, we wrote it over Zoom. So that was a very different experience. I mean, obviously, it was my first time writing, so I knew no different. But Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to collaborate with other songwriters, especially people who are so much more, experienced. And I think you can learn something from everyone, whether they're beginner or an expert or advanced, whatever. I think you can learn something from everyone, and I definitely learned a lot from them.
Yeah. So what was the experience like? You were learning things, but how did you get your ideas in, or how did you process their ideas?
I really just tried to be open to everything, open to their ideas, and definitely took a little bit of confidence building to butt in sometimes and be like, I think this might work better, or I think this might work better. But I think just being confident in your ability, and I knew they wouldn't have asked me if they didn't value my opinion, so.
Mm-hmm.
I was really honored by that, and I felt like they were really open to my suggestions, but also I was open to theirs, and it was a really good, team building activity. It was really a team effort. I didn't feel like one person was pushed to the side or, anything like that. I felt like we all worked really well together, and it was, really fun to just kind of have an hour a week to sit down and work with them, especially when we were really in, the thick of the pandemic. I think it was just nice to have that distraction and to work with them and to have that team process, with all the social distancing. I wasn't seeing friends or anything. So it was nice to have that social aspect of it as well.
Yeah, these are difficult times in a whole lot of ways.
Absolutely.
But like a little silver lining right there.
Yeah.
What do you see in terms of your future development as a songwriter?
I mean, I hope I keep writing songs, and I hope I keep exploring, and I hope that my future does involve songwriting or music of some sort. I mean, it's not what I'm majoring in, but it is something that's important to me and that I am still working on alongside what I'm doing with my professional career as well.
What are you majoring in?
So right now I'm majoring in communications, media, and theater arts is the name of my major. So still working in the entertainment kind of category, but yeah, I love entertainment. I love working with people. I love writing, not just songwriting, but also, journalism as well. So I think I'll always have a little bit of that with me, and I think it's definitely going to help me in my career as well, hopefully.
Yeah, that's just a real advantage. And if you know the sort of the background of the industry, I hate that word when I think about music, but it is. In a
Yeah.
sense. That would be useful. And let's see. So your work with aspiring to do more writing. Do you have like a career goal in mind? Or?
I mean, in terms of songwriting, if I, was to be a professional songwriter, I would love to write songs for other artists, and collaborate with them. I think that would be really cool. I mean, I think it would be cool to be like an artist myself, but I think it would also be awesome to work with others as well and help them in their careers. So that in terms of songwriting, I would love that. In terms of, communications, media, I have no idea really. I just know I love working with people. I love being around people. I love being creative, and we'll see what ends up happening. It's a pretty broad major, so I think there's a lot of ways I could go with it. So I'm still deciding and just seeing what feels right.
Yes. So it means we have a lot to look forward to.
Hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. So, is there anything else that you want to add for your fans or for other songwriters?
I mean, just to, keep pushing, to keep going. I think it's really important, to just be confident in yourself, be confident in your abilities. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, you definitely show the confidence every time I've seen you.
Thank you.
Oh, well, it's a wonderful thing, and it pays off obviously with your music.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you very much, Abby. I've enjoyed very much talking with you, and I know our listeners and viewers are going to enjoy it as well. Thanks for watching our show. I'd like to acknowledge the support of the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative, promoting the original music scene in Western Massachusetts. If you want to learn more about the collaborative, go to their Facebook page. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Dan. I hope you'll tune in again for the show that puts a spotlight on songwriters.